hello, and welcome to Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I am your host, Melissa Kerman. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for 20 years. Love this craft, loved sharing it, and so glad you're joining in. So I have a fun project for us today, and it's fairly simple. And tonight's project is really a nod to those of you in the world who have Christmas in the summertime. One of the great pleasures of doing this craft is that I've had the opportunity to meet and get to know people virtually from all over the world. And that is super fun. So in the process of that, I have learned, I didn't know this, although it is logical, that some people celebrate Christmas in the summer, particularly people in Australia. I do have some online friends in Australia. So this is a nod to you guys. I have a thing about being left out, people being left out. I can't stand for people to feel left out. So a lot of what Stampin' Up! Offers is products that are oriented towards Christmas in winter, like snowflakes. Love snowflakes. But tonight's project is really for those people who, snowflakes are not in the scene at Christmas time. So hats off to all of you guys who have Christmas in the summer. So the products I'm featuring today are the Warmest Heart stamp set and set of dies, coordinating dies, this bundle here. Really simple project that I've got for you. And I've got some variations as well. So super excited to share those also and show you the versatility of this particular layout that I'm working with. And then I'm also going to be using this Brightest Glow stamp set, specifically that Happy Holidays sentiment. And yeah, there we go. So this is going to be a fairly quick Facebook Live tonight. I have the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape event coming up tomorrow. And you can still register for it. There's a link in the video description if you're interested in doing that. Yeah, we go live tomorrow with 1 p.m. our welcome event, which is going to be a lot of fun. Anybody who's here who is signing up, we always have some special little segment oriented towards just having fun, getting to know us, and it will be a little bit educational as well. All right, so let's just jump in. So this is the Christmas project that I made. I know it's very non-traditional, both the colors as well as the images, but did try to use a Christmas color scheme, that red and green. But of course, this green is not your traditional kind of green Christmas color, but it is much more summery. As are the images. So we're going to have a little play with this. And then, as I said, I have a couple of other designs I'm going to show you that are sort of jumping off of this particular design that are not actually Christmas cards. Now, so one of the things I did off camera was I stamped these adorable little images, and I love anything that's little and small. So let me just jump on over here and see who's joined in and say hello. Hi, Donna. Hi, Jolene. So glad you're here. Thanks for commenting and saying hello. Share a little bit about where you're from, if you wouldn't mind, and how long you've been stamping and following Melissa's Crafting Treehouse, etc. Just anything you want to share. It's a great way for me to get to know you and for you to get to know others in the group as well. All right, so I have stamped and die cut these. All right, used these dies, and I'm using Memento Black ink, Tuxedo Memento Black ink for these because I'm going to be using my Blends alcohol markers. So I know these are really tiny, so I'm going to be bringing these images up to the screen as much as I can, just to kind of show you. And I have used a bunch of different colors. I've got two greens, my Granny Apple Green, Parakeet Party, Daffodil Delight, and I've got my dark Cherry Cobbler and dark red. And of course, can't do my blending without my color lifter, which is really handy for doing the blending. All right, we're going to start super simple with the sun here, which I just adore. It's the cutest little image with its little smiley face in the middle. And I've got my light Blends alcohol marker, and I'm just going to color the whole thing, just covering the whole thing. And I am using the nibby end because these are pretty small There's two ends to these markers, and one end is sort of big and it's got kind of a brush, and this end is the sort of fine tip. I call it the nibby end. All right, so I got my coat of light, and then I'm going to come in with my dark, and I'm going to use that fine tip end again. And I'm going to do some circles here in the middle. Now you will maybe notice I'm doing this on my silicone craft mat, and you can actually see a little bit of the dark through it. So I just did some little sort of circular shapes around the outside of the face, if you will, or the inside of that circle, and then a little bit around the outside of the circle as well. Now I'm going to just bring some of that color out, basically just going along the rays of the sun out from the center. So I got a little bit of my light, a little bit of my dark, and now I'm going to go back to my light and just do a little bit of blending. The more color you add, the darker the color becomes of whatever color you're using. So each layer adds more depth of color. Okay. And you will notice that with the Blends alcohol markers, the color goes through the backside. You can see a little bit. And yes, I did stamp on the back side of that. Let's get a little bit more color in there. Okay, super simple. All right, for my flower, which I am visualizing as a poinsettia. I know, it's creative visualization here. And I'm going to start with my light, a pretty peacock, and I'm just going to go over the whole leaf. These are so small that the blending is really subtle. When you get to the little mountain scene there, it gets a little bit more noticeable. There's my light, and now my dark. I'm doing just the center line of that leaf, and I'm going to bring that up to this screen now that I've done just the pretty peacock on that one. So you can see I've got a little bit of light and dark there, but I want more contrast. So I'm going to bring in some of the Granny Apple green to get me a little bit of darker green. So I'm just going to do that towards the bottom. And then some of the dark. So you can see that there's a lot more contrast because I've got the real dark towards the end of the leaf, the closest to the flower. All right. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Laura Lee. Yay. So glad to see you guys here. All right. So now I'm just going to grab my color lifter on the leaf and do a little bit of kind of blending and lightening. The color lifter I almost think of as it's like a bleach. It sort of goes in and kind of makes the color a little bit sort of textured. I don't know how much you're going to see it on these leaves, but there's my after the blending. I know, tiny, tiny, tiny. Bring it up to the camera so you guys can see it. All right. So next I'm going to use my two reds. I've got my dark real red and my dark cherry cobbler. Why I did that, don't ask. I don't know why. That's just what I chose to do. Okay. So I'm doing my light, the real red, pretty much the whole flower. So not only do I really like little tiny images, is anybody else obsessed with little tiny images? I am. Hi, Sharon. Yay, so glad you're here. From Idaho. So I taught a class last night on Zoom, and it was just so fun because we had people from Pennsylvania, from the UK, Where else? Wyoming. Am I saying that right? And it's just such a treat to have people from all over the place that I can share this craft with. That's part of why I love when you guys share where you're from. Okay. So now I'm going in with my cherry cobbler to add some dark to the center. I'm going to bring that up. I haven't done any blending, but those are the two colors in there. And now I'll bring my color lifter in. And I left some of the end elements of the flower just white. So when I go over it with the color lifter, it's going to kind of fill it in, but there'll still be some areas of lightness near the end of the flower petal. Okay, that's looking pretty nice to me. Actually, a little bit more blending on this one than I think I did on my original one. All right, next up is this adorable little mountain image. I just love this. I love the mountains to begin with, but it's just so cute. Okay, so I'm going to start with my dark Daffodil Delight on the moon. And I'm going to do some dark near the horizon line. And then some light above the dark. I want it to fade into the light, sort of in the sky. I'm not covering the whole sky. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of red, just for the tiniest bit on the horizon. I'm thinking it's kind of really bright color on the horizon. Okay, and then dark Daffodil Delight. I'm going to blend it with the red. Okay, I'm going to bring that up to the camera so you guys can see that so far. So there's what we got. Sort of looks like the skyline is on fire. That's what it makes me think of anyway. I think it's really pretty. All right, little bit of my color lifter. Just going over the whole thing, even the part that's white. Kind of draw some of that yellow up into the sky a little bit. I might need some more of the light to help me blend that red a little. So now I got my, this is the light Daffodil Delight. Let's see. Do I dare do any cherry cobbler? Okay, we're just going to do the tiniest little bit. I want it to look more fiery. Okay, so a little bit of cherry cobbler. Hope you guys are appreciating me bringing it up to the camera. Hi, Tracy. So glad you're here. No worries that you're late. Just glad you're here. Okay. Okay, we're going to stop there. Okay, and I'm going to go back to some of my greens. I'm going to grab my Pretty Peacock. This is the light, and I'm coloring the mountains in that. And I'm going to do pretty much the same coloring on the mountains as I did on the leaves, where I'm doing some light and dark Pretty Peacock, and then I'm going to go in at the very bottom with some of the Granny Apple Green just to get some darker color in there. I'm going to skip to the dark Granny Apple Green. I'm working with such a small little area here. Okay, now the light. How am I using all these colors on these tiny little pieces? Are you asking yourself that? I'm kind of asking myself that, but okay, now I'm bringing in my color lifter. I'm going to lighten up the top, go over the whole thing, and just kind of blend it a little. Okay, there we go. There are my pretty little elements. Okay, so now Wink of Stella is up next. And I actually didn't use it on my original one, but I'm going to go ahead and do it on it because I just think Wink of Stella is a lovely addition to this kind of design. So I'm going to do the sky in my Wink of Stella for my moon scene, my mountain scene, I should say. And then we'll do some on the flowers too. Why not? It's Christmas after all, right? Need some bling at Christmas. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, like, I'm not sure if I like that set. I don't necessarily want that set, but it's a cute layout. Well, I'm going to show you a couple of other designs that I did with this stamp set, but I also have some ideas for how to use this kind of layout with a completely different stamp set, just for fun. Which is, I've mentioned before, but it's one of the things that we do at Maker's Mojo is we try to help people with their design efforts, with sort of picking apart and analyzing design, and in a way to help people find their own design sense and expand their design sense. And of course, I always invite you guys to share with me as well, so that we can learn from each other. All right, so I've got here a basic white card base and a basic white layer. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to start with adding some ribbon to this, which is right here. Now, some of the photos that I have in my blog post that will go live on Saturday only include one of these ribbons, but I added the second one because I thought it was just a nice, fun addition. So we're going to use both of them on today's project as well. I'm going to grab my scissors over here. And we're going to do the easy way. Instead of tying it around, I'm going to attach it around the back side. This ribbon is actually Lemon Lime Twist, but it goes really well with the Parakeet Party and the Granny Apple Green. And this is actually the Parakeet Party metallic woven ribbon, which looks a lot darker than the Parakeet Party, but it all kind of goes together. I love all the greens. All right, so I have some adhesive on the back side of this white piece. Kind of gave myself a jump start on these a little bit. And I'm going to put it down on my Silk and Craft mat so it's all set. I can, let's see, just going to wrap this around the back side because there's adhesive on the back already. So making it easy on myself tonight. And then I'm going to do the same thing, wrap it around with this piece of ribbon too. It's pretty close to the bottom. Is it too close to the bottom? Let's see how my layout looks with it in that position. All right, so there's my red. It's a little low, but we'll figure it out. See if we like it. So I think it's super pretty, those two greens. Just very festive and happy. And summery, summer Christmassy. Hi, Jan. Good to see you here. You can't go wrong with bling or shimmer on cards. Yes, I agree completely, Jolene. All right. So now we're going to get the position of our sentiment. And I have adhesive on this real red piece, but I'm going to lay it out upside down with the adhesive facing up so I can gauge the positioning of my sentiment. And I'm using my Memento Black, exactly the same ink as I used for stamping the little images. And again, I've got my Happy Holidays stamp from the Brightest Glow stamp set. Okay. Let's see if I can get this straight. A lot of times what I'll do is stamp on a scratch piece of paper. Grab a scrap over here just to make sure that I sort of orient myself as to getting it straight. This is a pretty easy image to get straight because it's long and thin and narrow. So famous last words, right? Okay, so here we go. Just going to put that right down lower right-hand corner of where the red's going to be. Hi, Nancy. So glad to see you here. Yay. Jan, you couldn't make Maker's Mojo this time? So sad. Maybe next time. Yes, it is so much fun. The creativity of this group of presenters is just amazing. We have an incredible lineup this time. Lots of techniques we're going to be showing, different inky, messy techniques. Some fun folds, 3D projects, Christmas things, all kinds of fun. And you can participate even if you can't join in live. It is the most fun to join in live, of course, because, yeah, it's just fun. But you can also watch replays as well and enjoy the event. And we send PDF links to all the PDFs and the video tutorials to people in the week following the event. So you can check out all of that completely at your leisure and watch it again and again if you want for a lifetime. So, okay. So next I'm going to attach these pieces, and I've got adhesive on the back again, and I'm just going to kind of lay it down so I can gauge my spacing without attaching it quite yet. These pieces are, let's see, this one's 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. These are 1 1/4 by 1. I will have a PDF tutorial for this project that will be in next week's newsletter. So on the 25th of October, that's when the PDF will go live in that newsletter. And almost every newsletter I have a free PDF tutorial. So always include dimensions and supplies. If I've shown variations, I'll include photos of those, and in some cases, additional dimensions and supplies. Pretty detail-oriented person I am. Just saying. You guys probably know that. All right. So now on my little elements here, I have started by putting some glue dots on the back. Part of why I had it on my silicone craft mat. But I like them to have just a little bit of dimension. Just pop them up a bit. And the easy way to do that is to add a couple of layers of mini glue dots on the back. So I've got one layer on each of them so far. So now I'm going to add another layer. So it just gives it just a little bit of dimension, not too much. These are small images, so it's all kind of want it to be subtle. I love dimension. Okay, so I got my little sunshine. Does anybody else love these images? I love them. I think they're just so fun. Oh, you're going to miss a big part of Saturday. Well, you'll get to watch the replays. I think it's just a busy time of year for people, you know. For some reason, the fall is like that. Fall and the spring. All right. So just going to press those down. I don't know if you can tell, but because of the double layer of glue dots, they're kind of standing up just a little bit. You can see it mostly with the flower. And I do love that. Just gives it some, some life. All right, so this whole piece is now going to get attached to our card body. And let's put this down so I can actually see the outside edges. And now I get to decide if I want to move that ribbon up at all. I think I'll just see about moving it up just the tiniest bit without changing the adhesive situation on the back. Yeah, just a little bit. All right, that'll do. Okay. Now on this one, I have a little tie right there. So I'm just going to bring this in. I don't even know that it needs it. Yeah, I think I kind of like it. So I'm going to do that. Just grab that and do a quick little knot. I always like to, if I can, tie things off of the roll or when it's still attached to the roll. And that way, I tend to use less ribbon, which, not that I don't, I have plenty of ribbon, but I like to make good use of my resources. Oh, you love this card? I'm so glad. I think it's such a cute, simple little card. And again, I'm going to show you some other variations. So sit tight. Don't leave yet. Even though it looks like I'm almost done. Okay, so I just trimmed off those little ends. I like to have kind of small little tails there. And I might do a tail. I might do a tie of the other ribbon too. Just see what that looks like. Kind of like that look. So we're going to do it right next to the other one. So this will be slightly different from the first one. Okay. Maybe I need to do that again. This little stuff. Little. Okay. This lemon lime twist ribbon is part of a combo pack ribbon. And the second color of ribbon is, I think it's, well, I want to call it pretty in pink, but I know it's not that. It's that peachy pink. What is it called? Oh, somebody tell me. I know somebody out there is going to know. It's escaping me right at the moment. Okay, let's see what we think of this. The 2 layers of ribbon. All right, so there, what I got, just cute little sort of ribbon tails that are overlapping. And now because I attach this separately, I can move them around if I want to reposition them. But maybe move it just underneath the first one. Okay, so there was what we got. And the other one. I'm going to look at this off camera. And sometimes when I'm on camera, it's really hard to have perspective, and I'm showing you guys. I'm not looking at it myself. So I don't know whether I'll stick with that second tie. You guys let me know. What do you guys think? Let's see, which is easier, tiny ribbon or wider? Probably wider. There's just more to hold on to. The tiny ribbon is, just requires that real fine motor ability. All right, so there are those 2 finished projects. Merry Christmas, those of you who are in Australia and in other places where you celebrate Christmas in summer. Thank you so much for watching if you are from one of those parts of the world. All right, so I did a couple of other variations, also using the Warmest Heart bundle, and I just couldn't help but share. So there's this one, of course, completely not Christmas, just as neutral as it can be. You like the one tie, Barbara? Thanks for chiming in. I may be leaning in that direction too. We'll see. So anyway, the Calypso Coral linen trim. And then, of course, I did all of my coloring the same, except for I used the little rainbow instead of the sunshine. Because I was going for that summer Christmas look, the sunshine seemed perfect. Less so maybe the rainbow, which might make you think of spring, right? So there's that. And then on this one, I used the Basics 3D Basics embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that in the background on this one layer. So that was an added element. And that thanks is from the Warmest Heart set. There's some cute little sentiments in here, by the way. So the thanks, get well soon, you warm my heart. I like that very much. All right. And then the last design made with this set is this one. And for this one, I brought in some of the Garden Walk Designer Series paper. Yeah, that's what it's called, Garden Walk. It's Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. And of course, same elements there. Now I just realized I forgot one little detail because I've used these adorable little embellishments in the middle of these flowers, which I did on this one. And I used gold here because, of course, it's Christmas, right? So this one needs some gold ones, which of course I chose the gold also because it ties in the yellow in each of those two images that flank the flower. So I thought that would look really nice. So I will add those later. Now those embellishments come from this set, which is part of the, let's see, they're called Blooming Pearls, and they're part of the Garden Walk suite. So this is the designer paper, which this pattern comes from here. This is a lovely designer series paper, just fun, beautiful florals, interesting color combinations, and I should bring that on camera. That would be helpful. All right, so just turn it over. So the backs, of course, are fairly neutral. I love this one. Now, because in Maker's Mojo, we show lots of different variations of our projects. One of my variations of one of my projects uses this suite and some of this designer series paper just for fun. Actually, I think I made 2 projects with this designer series paper, 2 alternatives. Anyway, been having fun with this paper and these lovely embellishments. Now, and I just remembered one other thing. I have a piece to coordinate on the inside, and I just need to add it. And I just realized one of them doesn't have it. Here. Okay, let's go ahead and just add this little element. So this was from the Merry Bold and Bright designer series paper. Look at that, those colors. Is that not perfect? So I just trimmed off a 3/8 inch strip. I've got some adhesive on the back, and I think I'm just gonna put it right smack on the inside. And let's just make sure that it's actually the right length. I cut it. Yes, that should be good. I'm gonna grab my silicone craft mat because I've got adhesive on this. I don't want it to stick. And I'm just going to attach it with a little bit of an edge at the bottom. And then I just need to snip off that little bit extra with my paper snips. So now I got a nice little decoration for the inside of my card as well. So there we go. Isn't that a lovely little additional Christmas element? And those are stars, not snowflakes, incidentally, right? Since we're trying to go for not a winter theme. All right, so I was thinking about how you would redo this design if you didn't have these little itty bitty adorable images. And I, toyed around with some ideas. I didn't actually finish anything, but I did contemplate using this Heartfelt Hexagons set because it's got some really cute little images that you might be able to use on these little spots. Now, I wouldn't obviously die cut them. I would probably just stamp right on that white panel there, but I thought this one would work really well. Now, this stamp set is an online exclusive stamp set, and it has a coordinating punch that punches out that little hexagon shape. So stay tuned to see this more. This was one of the featured bundles in the World Card Making Day event. So we did make something at that event, which was really fun. Now, the other idea that I had was to use this Magical Meadow set because you don't necessarily have to have small images for your piece. So again, I didn't finish the design, but I did pull a couple of the images from that and chose a more traditional color scheme. This is Garden Green, the Real Red, and I just used, now these are actually, what are they? 80% size. So this image is quite a bit bigger, but I just used the little tip and stamped it a few times in my Garden Green here. I used that image on that one. Here I used my marker directly to the rubber to get my little berries on there. So of course this needs a card base and some ribbon to go with it, but you can see how you can use these really large images and still, do this design. In fact, check that out, right? That's not too bad, right? Just like that. Just replace it out, right? And has a little bit more of a traditional Christmas look, but with large stamps. So I hope you guys are inspired to take this layout, whether you have this stamp set, this bundle or not, and make some super cute, simple little cards with this particular layout. I had a ton of fun playing with them. And let's see what else. So any other reminders? Again, Maker's Mojo Creative Escape for autumn starts tomorrow. You can watch live or the replay. There is a private Facebook group that is live, and we have play along posts in that group going on now. And anybody who registers by today, you also have the opportunity to get into 5 door prize drawings that you're automatically entered in as long as you're registered by today. Let's see what else. We have 19 prizes that we give away. We have an early bird prize. We have a referral prize. We have a prize for people who complete our survey at the end of the event because we want people's feedback. You guys give us great ideas. The Makers Mojo participants are always improving the event. So anyway, it's a super, super fun event, and I hope you'll consider joining us. It's done by myself, of course, and 4 other demonstrators, Wendy Lee, Anne-Marie Heil, Audra Monk, and Joe Blackman from the UK. And we each bring something different to the table. You might love some and not like others as much, but we try to cover all the bases and lots of different style desires and whatnot, and lots of different project types as well. So again, the description and links to sign up for Makers Mojo are in the video description here. Consider joining us. It's a lot of fun. Our next one won't be until February of next year. So this one is our autumn event, and we're super excited about it. So let's see. Any other reminders that I need to mention? There is an amazing starter kit special going on right now, either 35% off of the kit. So instead of spending $99, you spend $64.35 and you get $125 in product, or you can spend $99 and get $168.75 in products. So either 35% off, 35% more in celebration of Stampin' Up's 35th anniversary. So super, super great, amazing starter kit deal. One of the best I've seen. And of course, I forgot to mention, please share, tag, follow, and like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and wherever you're watching. Thank you so much for sharing some of your time with me and sharing my love of paper crafting with you. It's all of you guys that make me want to keep doing it, and because you guys show up and you're here for me. So anyway, yes. Oh, Julia, yes. See you tomorrow at Makers Mojo. Super exciting. Again, we have our welcome event at 1 p.m. and we have some fun planned for that welcome event. It's not just business. It's going to be some fun also. So, and then of course, the presentations start at 3. So we have 3 presentations tomorrow, and let's see, what's the difference? 7 presentations on Saturday. So all day. It's a marathon. Binge watch some creative inspiration. Don't watch Netflix over this weekend. Watch us. All right, everybody. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you wherever we see you. I am not going live next Thursday. I am actually going to visit my sweet mom in Boston. Leaving my husband home. But I'm going to visit my mom, so I will not be doing Facebook Live next week. I'll be back on November 2nd for another fun project. So we'll see you then, or we'll see you in Makers Mojo tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining in. You're very welcome. Yes. Okay, awesome. Bye, everybody.